Hey, and welcome to the first episode of Bad Hacker. I'm your host, Dr. Zooks, and today I thought we'd just start out with a little bit of basic security on your own computer, just hardening like a new install, or if you got a new computer. This is kind of the stuff I go through just to make the experience a little bit better. And if you're into the color hats and teams and stuff, I thought I'd start with some blue team before we get into the red team. Basically, because that's what 75% of my security experience has been so far. But I'm trying to step into the more offensive red team stuff, so I'm going to document that too. But I just thought I'd start with the good stuff first. And before we get started, I'd also like to add a side note that if you watched any of my Bad Gamer videos, you'd notice that there is a significant lack of hum coming from the microphone. Finally got some decent software, and hopefully on my next gaming videos that won't be an issue either, so that's cool. Anyway, so let's get started. Coming down with some. It's been raining the last few days here in Texas. Or not a few days, it started yesterday. And I'm all stopped up, so if I sound funny, that's probably why. So, usually the first thing I do when I get a new computer or get a fresh install is just to go through the control panel, go into programs and features, and just uninstall all of the preloaded crap that comes on your computer that you're never going to use. Most of it's going to be trial software anyway. You got Office. It probably comes with McAfee. You probably just want to go ahead and get rid of that also, and get another antivirus, which I'm going to go over here in just a minute. And once you get all that stuff taken off, usually what I do is go through the startup, which on Windows 8 and 10 is going to be on the task manager in the startup bar. On earlier versions of Windows, you can go into msconfig, and it'll have a startup, but since I'm on 10, I have to go through task manager. So just go through, and anything that you don't want, you just highlight and then disable. And just go through and disable anything that you don't think you need. And once you go through that, this shouldn't be too bad. On the task manager, you can go to the services and do the same thing. Just go through, for security reasons, you can disable remote desktop, which if you're just a home user, I would suggest doing that because you're probably never going to remote into your computer. But just go through there and disable anything. You can go to my website. I have a link in the description to the blog where I link to a couple of sites that goes over all the services that you can disable to improve the performance of your computer and also to get a little bit more privacy and security. And once you go through that, you can go back into the control panel. Usually you can right click on the start button and there is an option for a control panel. I don't have it, and I just got used to typing it in. But you can go into the user accounts. Manage another. I'm Lappy, by the way. You can tell if I'm on my laptop or my computer or my desktop, because my desktop's name is Compy, because I'm original. But usually there would be like guest or administrator, any other account. Another way you can get into it would be in the control panel. Just go to net users and it'll show you all the accounts on the computer. You can go through and disable the ones that you don't want, like guest, default account, maybe administrator, or you have your own account. Go through and disable those. And the command for doing that would be net. You could go to net user active. You need sorry, you need to type the account guest and then /active. Nope. I got that error because you need to be in an elevated command prompt. Right click, run as administrator. Yep. and then you can net user guess to get the information account active. Nope. And you can do that for all the accounts that you want to disable on the computer, and really just have your own account. Because a lot of people take, a lot of malware and stuff like that takes advantage of accounts that are active but aren't being used. So it's kind of a way to shorten that attack vector. And once you go through that, usually what I do is just install Firefox, because I don't like Internet Explorer. It's just pretty much its own malware server. And I don't like Google Chrome for whatever reason. I've just been using Firefox forever, so I usually go through that. And once you get that installed, go down into the options, privacy and security, block trackers. I always block third-party cookies, usually because if I'm just surfing the internet, I'm not looking at anything other than funny pictures, memes, YouTube videos, or whatever. Always send the website to do not track. I don't think that really does anything, because your information is being logged by so many different switches and routers along the way that it doesn't really matter if the destination's blocking it. But I do it anyway, just for fun. When it closes, it just deletes the data that it gets. And then from there you can install an ad blocker. Adblock Plus, I guess. You can get different add-ons. You can get Adblock Plus. I usually get NoScript also. So I already got it installed. And that's good for disabling a lot of junk scripts or malicious scripts on known websites, trackers and stuff like that, just to make your internet experience suck a little bit less. Speaking of making it suck a little bit less, go ahead and install an antivirus. I usually use Kaspersky, just because over the years it's never done me wrong. I love it. It's blocked. It's kept my computer clean, and I've done some crazy shit on it. I don't like the McAfee, however you want to pronounce it. I just think that's junk software. Norton's decent, if you go through, do your research, just pick your own antivirus. But if you want to go the cheap route and don't want to spend any money, you can get Malwarebytes, anti-malware, and bam. You just download this, just get the free one and install it. You'll just have to update it and run it yourself manually. You can do that once a week. It'll take 30 minutes at the most to do a full scan of your computer. And then another thing I like to do on a new computer to make the internet experience a little bit better, go to someonewhocares.org to get, or /host, sorry. And then just copy you can do a Control A, but it would also get the ads and stuff at the top. This way you get just the text. But you're gonna have to open Notepad as an administrator to be able to edit your host file. And if you're on Windows, I think 10 and 8 definitely. Actually, it's going to be the same on I'll show you where it's going to be. It's the same on most Windows. It's going to Windows folder on your C drive, down into your System 32, into the drivers folder, and then etc. Set it to all files, hosts. You're doing open, right? Oh, okay. And then from there you can Control A and delete all of that, and then Control V to paste what you got from the someone who cares org host file. Save it. Yep. And that will keep your computer from reaching out to known hosts and ad serving websites and servers, and just it stops a lot of tracker and ad activity on your computer, and it kind of speeds up the internet a little bit, and you don't see as many intrusive and annoying ads all over the place. Another setting that you can set in your Firefox is to not have Flash on autoplay, so when you go to websites it doesn't automatically start playing and blasting just crap noise all over the place. Should be around in should be around in this area in privacy security. Down in the permissions you should see websites that autoplay sound, and you can set it to ask, disable, or always allow. Usually I just set it to ask, just in case I want to see the video at some point. Once you get all of that finished, at that point I would go ahead and make a backup of your current computer, and you can do that in the control panel. Go to System, click on Advanced System Settings, go to System Protection. While you're here, you can disable that too. You can create a restore point, and this is a good thing to do just to have your computer, if in case you get ransomware or something crazy happens, you can start it from a fresh image so you don't have to go through all that crap again. You can create a restore point, or you can use third-party software to create a backup image. So in case there is a disaster and you need to recover from it, you can just recover the image. That'd be pretty much the same thing. Also, just kind of wanted to go over just some browser, browsing tips for the internet. So if you go to like a public Wi-Fi, like at a coffee shop or a library or hospital or whatever, the safest thing to do would be to get a VPN. So when you connect to the public Wi-Fi, then you connect to the VPN, and then your information will at least be encrypted. Be a little bit safer that way. You can also install the NoScript like I did, just for a little bit more browser privacy. Another thing to keep your computer safe would be just to watch out. I know a lot of people say this for emails and stuff, but just kind of look at what you're getting, who it's from. If you're a home user, this is great advice. If you don't know who's in it, don't open it. I don't like giving that advice to people in a corporate environment, because in a corporate environment, you get email from people you don't know all the time. And some departments have to open those attachments. So for home users, yes, definitely. If you don't know who's in it, don't open it. You can also, for just regular computer maintenance, once a week, I'd say, run your antivirus. Google that if you want. Another thing I like to do every once in a while, just go into my computer, right click your C drive, go to Properties, or your main Windows drive, go to Tools, and Optimize it. And then you can go through and just hit Optimize on each one, and it'll defrag your hard drive, and it'll clear up some junk space on your hard drive. Another thing you can do is download CCleaner and get that running. I know a lot of people probably shit all over CCleaner, but I like running it. The thing I like about CCleaner is the registry. And I love going in here and just cleaning out all the junk that it finds. Definitely always make a backup just in case. I've never run into any problems when I clean the registry from it, but always make a backup just in case. And it'll ask you if you want to when you get to it. It's going to fix every time. Yes. Just save it and then click, finish, scan the files. And that's usually the only thing I use CCleaner for, is for the registry cleaner. But if you do that about once a week or so, or a couple weeks if you want, if you don't use it that much, just run through with antivirus. I'd say defrag it maybe once a month if you're having a bunch of issues, but probably not with the hardware that's out these days. Continue practicing safe browsing, and this isn't a definitive exhaustive list of things to do, but this is just the stuff I do on fresh installs or new computers, just to harden it a little bit, make it a little bit better to surf the internet and not have stuff suck so much. All right, well, thanks for stopping by, and we'll get into some hacking videos at some point. I just wanted to start off with some educational stuff because that's what I'm used to. All right, thanks for stopping by, and have a good day.